Your MLW National Openweight Champion, the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane. And I'm here to let you know that your flagship show, Between Two Beards, will not be adhering to any budgeting restrictions. And if I hear about this again, I will be showing up to Love HQ, and you will be getting all of this work.
My best friends. Some people say we have a power, but every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is...
Hello. It is Thursday evening, little early this week, 8 p.m., but it is myself, JPJ and Pluggo, and you know what that means? It's another episode of Between Two Beards. Pluggo, my man, my dude. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. The reason we're on early is because we can do whatever we want. We got Alex Kane taking care of business.
Threatening the boss.
Threatening? I don't know if it's threatening as much as just saying, hey, listen, we are the flagship. We adhere to a certain standard. We're going to do what we want. We're going to blow budgets and not think twice about it. But no, I'm doing fantastic. We got a packed show. Rumor on the streets is Spencer wasn't too happy, but that's okay. We don't mind because we don't listen to the boss. Because what do we got? We got something in store for you tonight, Spencer. A couple things. We got announcements.
Well, we got one right off the bat here.
Off the bat, we're just Spencer, if you're in the chat, come at us, bro.
All right. Well, here we go. Here we go.
Hey, what are you doing here, Warren?
I'm coming in here. I'm taking advantage of the Alex Kane shield to come to run in and just take care of business here. How you doing, fellas?
We're
Good.
doing
How are you,
wonderful.
my friend?
I know you reached out to us yesterday and said you needed to come check up on us because it's getting hairy over here. So how are you?
I'm doing great. But honestly, and I hope you guys are too. And thank you again for letting me, just like randomly pop in, despite my fee. But the thing here is that what's amazing is that, like Alex Kane, right? I mean, if you're going to have someone stick up for you, might as well be someone who defeated Alex Shelley, Myron Reed, ACH, right? To get the title in the ladder match. I'm forgetting someone. There was like
the Suplex Assassin. Whew, you can't get any bigger than that.
I mean, that he if he can go through Alex Shelley and ACH like in an evening, Spencer Love.
I'm begging MLW to book that. Like, just book it. If you're watching Court Bauer, if you got time away from the lawsuit.
Of course he's watching. How can he not be watching?
Exactly.
Spencer, I believe. Go ahead. Yes.
No. I wanted to jump in, because I saw things were a little hairy, as you said.
Yes. Well, before the show.
Yes.
Before the show, Spencer reached out to us and he said, "Hey, I have a video that I need you to play tonight." And he said, "I don't want you to watch it beforehand. I do not watch it until it airs live on the show, but I have a video."
So just so you know, Warren, if this is the last episode of Between Two Beards, hopefully your check clears, and we're glad you could join us for the 36th and final episode.
Look, if this is the last one, this appearance is on me.
But
if it's not,
well, stay tuned for later on when we have news on who's going to be on next week.
Yes, we are. If we're going to be here next week, budgets will be blown. Budgets will be blown.
Would you like to watch this with us?
Yeah, we're going to play the video right now. So
let's go ahead.
All right.
All right.
Again, Spencer Love, our boss.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Holden Albright. You may not know the name. You've heard the reputation whispered, seen in nightmares. But more recently, in a very violent match presented by Love Wrestling, who presents this very show. See, you guys want to talk about blowing Spencer's budget. Yes, Spencer has a budget. Spencer has money. Spencer has friends who love wrestling, who love hurting people. And Spencer doesn't need to pay a friend any money, especially when they get joy out of hurting people. And I enjoy hurting people.
I would just like to say that we here at Between Two Beards do not believe in the self-mutilation of others. Our show is above that.
Are we gonna die? Is that what Spencer's saying there? I was expecting a response to Alex Kane. I wasn't expecting a threat on my life.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Listen, guys, I like the both of you, but suddenly I feel I want to distance myself from y'all.
Guilt by association.
I know.
Warren's like, thanks for having me on, but I gotta go. So
we did not expect to get to this level here.
Here's the thing with deathmatch aficionado Holden Albright. He is a deathmatch aficionado who is also into Wordle. So I think that makes him particularly dangerous.
Yes, I am particularly into the Wordle as well.
Oh, I've
been on a roll lately. Pluggo, you do the Wordle?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't even know. I see the posts. I don't know what it is.
Okay. You just got to guess words.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. Try it out. Try it out tomorrow.
Okay. I'm trying to put together like.
I'm trying to piece together like I'm not a violent man. I don't consider myself a violent man. So that took me aback. I was not expecting that. So wow. I am rattled right now. So thank God Warren's here. Warren.
Yeah, Warren. We have a Warren shield.
We do.
Oh Jesus! It's the softest, gooeyest shield, guys.
He came to check on us, and we brought a Warren to a Holden fight.
Apparently.
He came to see how we were doing. He knew things were getting a little testy, and then we just got threatened to
Asher says we rock paper scissors. Loser faces Holden. I think you probably handle both of us if we're being real.
Listen. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Don't
Spencer, book the flight. I'll fly up there. I'll take him down one-on-one. I'll get in the ring. I don't care. Let's go.
Oh, that's a mistake. This is.
I die for Between Two
You can't take
Beards,
that back.
Hey,
you can't. Oh,
It's been a long time since
Oh.
I've been to the great white north or whatever they call it. I'm all flustered because I think I'm going to die. But for the
Yes, I think
team,
so.
for the
I will
team.
commentate. I will commentate that match. I will commentate it.
No, it's cool. It gives us time to prepare the memorial. It's like
The memorial episode is going to be sick.
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh
We'll just
my God.
we'll just empty out your Google Photos and put it in the
Yeah,
slideshow.
if
It'll be
somebody
great.
could clear my
show on a laptop, and then
Exactly.
that'll be.
if
We'll
my
watch the
wife,
demise of Pluggo right before our very eyes. It'll be.
if I may, I love my wife and kids very much. It was an honor to be a part of your lives for this much. Mom, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that is terrible. All right. I'm rattled. I'm literally rattled.
That is not how
Warren-
I expected this to go. Honestly, for real, no kayfabe here. He legit was like, "Don't watch it until you play it."
don't watch it until
We
you air it.
didn't
And we were
watch
like,
it.
okay.
Wow.
And we were over here being simpletons,
I thought he
thinking
was
it was
going to
going
be
to be
like,
a response to Alex Kane, and no, it wasn't. It was,
"Hey,
like
friends."
yeah, you know.
That's pretty much like when I'm like the guy's standing there, and he has the mask on, he unmasks, and I'm like, yes, look, big tough Spencer guy. He's gonna
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Our HR department does not appreciate threats on management.
That was not
he
what
was
that
like-
was. That was not what that was.
No, it was not.
All right.
Well,
Warren.
Warren,
Any
anything you want
other
to talk
topics
about?
you would want to talk about before you skedaddle? Because I know you have a show a little bit later, starting at 9 tonight.
Well, I don't know if
anything
I don't know if you've heard. There's this very obscure wrestler, right? That not many people know about. Between the three of maybe we've heard about it because we listen to a lot of wrestling and so on and so forth. But he's a guy, he wrestles. You don't see him much on TV, which makes him very obscure. Mustafa Ali. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's that. Nope. Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Well, I mean, it's normal. He's very obscure. You never see him on television, right? Apparently, we all heard the news earlier this, the news. He tweeted that he had requested his release from World Wrestling Entertainment Inc. And there's reports circulating today. I think it's over at Fightful Select that broke it, right? That WWE saying, no, you ain't going anywhere. Now, if I want to ask you guys, you're working dudes. It's all three of us, right? We're whether it's on the blue collar side or the white collar side, we work for a living. We have jobs.
Yep.
What employer have you ever worked with is like, will make sure that if you're miserable at your job and you want to leave, they're going to say, no, you stay here. And not only that, it's not just because you're miserable. And not only that, it's not just because you're miserable. Because boss, I don't have anything to do. You're not giving me anything to do. Doesn't matter. Sit down. Yeah, but I'd like to go, apply my trade somewhere else that might give me an opportunity to actually do it. No, you stay right where you are.
That's exactly how The Office every Friday with Spencer goes. We try to do nothing. No, you're absolutely right. I don't understand, especially when you just let Tony Storm go. You just let. I feel like I'm missing another person to ask.
I feel like they've been letting people go recently that have asked, but this one is because the rumor is that him and Vince got into a heated argument about something as well. So for what we know about Vince and how he handles certain situations, he knows the thing that he can do that will be the worst to Mustafa Ali is to keep him and continue not to use him. So that's what he's doing. That's 100% what he's doing.
They're pulling a Neville. They're pulling an FTR.
Yes, they don't do it to everybody, but they do it to the select few that they're like, no.
You're gonna stay right here.
You're staying here because this is what pains you the most. So this is what I'm doing. And it's
you dared stand up to the boss. You dared stand up to Vince and say, Vince, your idea is shit. Well, Vince is like, oh, okay. Well, then
I would have
Have
been
a
like,
seat, young man.
I gave you the retribution thing. I took that one for the team. You guys owe me.
Can you believe then people? Because I actually did see some discourse out there where it's like he was given so many opportunities. It's like, but
No.
the opportunities were garbage.
Yes.
Look, hang on. Let's nuance this. The opportunities up until his elimination chamber, his pre-elimination chamber injury, were very good. He was on an uptick, very optimistic. Everyone was looking forward to it. And he gets injured. He comes back, and he's just completely out of favor with Vince. Vince is like, I don't remember who this guy is. I had plans for him. What? The Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Where Brock wins. Come on, it's like the thing here is that there does reach a point, and I believe this, even though Bruce and Vince like to tell us that wins and losses don't matter, they do. And I think that at some point, no one likes to back a loser. No one wants to support a loser, which is why Brock Lesnar comes in and everyone goes nuts, right? Because Brock is a winner. It's just as simple as that. Brock is a winner. So if Ali just is constantly put into these losing situations and losing creative, like loser creative on top of that,
Yeah.
Why would you throw your support behind the guy? So when I see discourse about when the fans never got behind the fans, he always had a very solid fan base.
He still gets
pundits everywhere love the guy. It's not as if he wasn't Jackson Riker, for fuck's sake. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, swear jar. That's fine. We just, do what you want. This is the last time we might be seeing.
Yeah, literally, we might be alive.
But you might be talking to your corpses next week. We'll have a Weekend in Bernie's kind of situation. It's like, hi, I'm Pluggo. But it's not as if he was like a complete under. He was a guy people wanted to get behind. They wanted to cheer for him, which is why the heel turn was so mystifying, because it's like, no, we're okay, but we prefer to cheer for him because he's a natural babyface and so on and so forth. There is a point where WWE creative can sink someone. It really can. And I think he figured it out.
I just like and he does his own vignettes, which that saves you money. It's all about budget, right? If you're going to think of it from that aspect, he's doing his own thing. He's being creative. He's out there doing it, and he's doing the work. He's doing the work for them. No, I'm just being like,
no. But we know
he's a fantastic wrestler. How do you just not have something? Why wouldn't you let him sink his teeth into something and get behind it and then stop and then start? Like the retribution thing, I know we crap on it now, but it could have been really cool if you actually tried.
So
if it even at a very minimum was as mysterious and compelling as it was. Honestly, when they came out with the masks and they all looked like Zartan's goofballs, right? It's like that's the moment that everything just crashed.
Yeah,
it was the moment that with the reveal with the masks that you're like, what is this? What is?
Because we knew who each one of them were.
Which didn't help. Yeah, but I do think, as bad as it was when, and I agree, he is a natural babyface. He should have been put in that position. He was as over as you can kind of get without them putting you in a position to get over. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt. Like, he was getting good reactions, good pops, even though they weren't giving him a lot of super big moments. You know what I mean? And I feel like the WWE audience is very quick to tune you out if they're not putting you in a position. Why are they going to care about you? You know?
And now when they're just going to sit him in catering.
When the first thing happened where he was announced as the leader of Retribution, as bad as the angle was that particular night, because it was him, I was like, all right, like, let's see where it's going. I like him. I want him to succeed. So I'm okay. And then it turned into a pile of shit immediately. Like it just continued to be a pile.
Because the creative wasn't there. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
is like, you can put as talented a person in a situation, if it's just so over the top and ridiculous and doesn't, because, you know, I am not sitting here, you know, going, oh, you know, 2020 Vision, Retribution could have been really good. No, I think it was destined to fail because WWE just can't do things anymore. And, you know, Joe, you said it, like, it's, you know, he was getting as over as he could with not being given anything. And that, you know, I'm at a place right now with WWE where if you're not in a title picture, they don't put any stock into you.
Yeah, you don't matter.
There's nothing. There's no mid card. It's especially glaring for the women. Like, unless you're in the SmackDown or Raw Women's Championship picture, there's nothing for you.
There's 3-second matches. What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go. There's a whole other. That's a whole other 9 yards.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like, Mustafa Ali, and I am, you know, not going to sit here and say he was destined to be a world champion. You know, look, that's a whole other discussion. But a high-level mid-carder, like a guy who could, you know, pull out, you know, high-profile matches, nonetheless. You know,
him and Shinsuke, like, that's money.
You know, a good, healthy mid-card.
Yeah.
I think he would have thrived there, and he would have gotten over maybe a couple of title programs, but. The problem with WWE is that it doesn't have a mid card. It just has there's title pictures, and then there's everyone else, and the everyone else stuff sort of all smooshes together. Yeah,
and I think that's been a long-standing problem. Part of the reason why they haven't been able to build stars effectively. Because if you look back at it, the people that were stars, that became big stars, eventually they rose up and they got over when they were in mid-card programs.
And you know,
and they went, wow, this guy's getting a reaction. Maybe we should try him in the main event. And then guess what? It fucking worked. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. It shouldn't be this hard.
I was just watching the Ruthless Aggression, The Rock episode last night. You know what made him successful during his mid-card run? He was winning.
Look at Bobby Lashley.
Winning.
Bobby Lashley is, like, throughout 2021 right into today. Even at the end of 2020 into 2021, I will die on this hill. He was the best booked wrestler in the entire company because he was given the mid-card title, but was treated like a big deal, right? And this is one of these rare occasions where they'll do this. He was going through the mid card. He was just destroying everyone because no one on the mid card was on his level. So then you sort of go, well, it's time for him to migrate because he's beating all the chumps. So put him up with the world title level people, right? And it was perfect. He lost the belt in a triple threat match. It wasn't even pinned. Like, he never literally lost the U.S. title himself. And what happens when he goes into the world title picture? He wins the title, and now he's up against Brock, and you're not doubting. You're not going, oh, is this a weird one? No, you're like, of course, Bobby Lashley and Brock, absolutely. It's credible. It's convincing because they built him. They gave him time to heat up, which is what a mid card is supposed to do. That's why a Liv Morgan again would thrive in a mid-card situation. You heat her up instead of just cycling people in and out of their women's title pictures. Just okay, not you, now it's you. Now it's coming in cold. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Liv Morgan. Okay. So there's no natural affinity to someone who just spent the last 3 months eating L's all the time. Yeah. Because wins and losses do ultimately matter.
They do.
But as you remember, we're going to start listening to our fans. You are the voice. But, you know, like, we've been clamoring for Ali. We clamored for Liv. Nothing's happened. I mean, like you said, with it, Dewdrop, they're doing that with her right now. Let's just put her in with Becky. She's lost, like, the last 8 matches she's had. We have no – and that's the sad reality of the WWE is you can look at the card and go, that person's not winning tonight. That person's not winning. They don't have a chance. we know that Becky Lynch is going to hold it for a while, but give me that reason why Doudrop's going to get that win, or make me invested in it. They have that opportunity constantly, and they just cannot seem to make it happen unless, like you said, they have a title. And even when you have a title, that doesn't mean anything. I don't remember the last name the best match Shinsuke's had and the Intercontinental title scene since he's had.
I can't even remember the last time he defended it, let alone,
Is Shinsuke the guy who hangs out with Rick Boogs?
Yes.
Boogs, baby.
Yeah, he's that guy, the surfer, right? He's just there to surf and have a good time,
So the upper mid card titles don't mean anything anymore.
The thing
either.
that frustrates me the most is like they don't even. It's the lack of. It's not like they're throwing ideas at the wall and it's just not hitting and it's not sticking and they're in a rut. They don't even care. Like they don't even try to make anything matter besides the main titles, and that is the frustrating part. It's like, okay, well, like if you don't care. Why? Like they have me. I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. The reason why I'm a lifelong wrestling fan is because of the WWE and WWF.
Sure.
Like that's what. Yes, they have me. I'm probably never gonna stop watching the product, but I haven't cared about the product in a long time.
Sure.
And it's frustrating because I still watch it. I want it to be good, and there are things like there are still great matches. There's still great talent. But they just don't give a shit about anything they do. Any story they tell, even the ones that they care about, yes, they do them well, but it's recycled. It's just like you said, plug and play, like it's just whatever. It's all the same stuff. And it's just
they're so busy, because I agree with you. And they're so busy trying to convince everyone that what they do is not wrestling, that they lose the plot. And then they have Sami Zayn in a Jackass challenge. That's what you get instead of wrestling, because they don't do wrestling. It's sports entertainment. Now I'm going to tell you guys, you talk to anyone who is outside of the wrestling bubble, okay, of all of us fans on Twitter and on Reddit, and you go up to someone, someone comes to you and say, hey, what are you doing this Sunday night? Oh, I'm busy. Oh, what are you doing? Well, I'm watching my premium live event featuring the WWE, the superstars of sports entertainment giant WWE. They're like, I don't understand what you're doing. Are you in a cult?
yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Like
you
look at
can't
all
just
the words.
watching wrestling anymore.
You can't watch wrestling and you're not watching pay-per-views. You're watching premium live sports entertainment events. It's like, what the fuck? Just stick to the basics. You can't. We're watching a pro wrestling show.
Yeah.
But they're too busy trying to convince themselves, ergo us, that it's not what we're watching. That it just goes all over the place.
Yeah, it's just brutal. It's been brutal for a while. It
really has.
And they have, think about the talent. Like they have Mustafa Ali, Ricochet. And they have a multitude of guys. Like you could easily have enough talent to have an upper mid card, a mid card, and a lower mid card on both female and male.
Absolutely.
And you have enough hours of television every week.
Well, female, they'd have
to
start rehiring women, though. But
yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yes, I do understand your point.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, it's just like you can do it. They just choose not to because they know they have their bank account. I mean, they have to budget cut it 4 times a year, apparently, but they have their billion dollar bank account that proves that they don't have to change a damn thing. Their highest quarters over every whatever. Okay, well, we don't have to change a thing because look at us.
I know live
the most money we ever have,
live content's at a premium for ad revenues and all this stuff. But if I'm USA Network, I'll use USA Network because it's really bad on Raw in terms of ratings. Like you just paid $500 million for this, and every week it's the same set of matches just rehashed, and there's no cliffhanger. Like, I don't want to toot our own horn here, but we had more of a cliffhanger today. Beginning of our show.
You guys have more storytelling going on right now.
And USA is just like, this is fine. Like, And you're getting, and again, we do this. We love AEW on the show. You're getting AEW on TNT for a fraction of that. I would reevaluate what I'm spending my money on.
I'm telling you, you know what's going to be really fascinating is when it's time for all these deals to be renegotiated. When WWE has to sit back down with its partners, because then you have AEW who'll be, pulling in whatever numbers at that state. Like I'm not going to sit here and by projecting. But whatever numbers that they're going to pull in, trends are up. They're going to be making very decent ad revenue, ad rates for the networks. And they'll be, like you said, a fraction, a fifth. It's like miserably minimal amounts of money. That I'll be very, very anxious to see what kind of deal they'll be able to squeeze out here. But WWE, here's one thing that they do have up their sleeve and that we cannot forget, and this is really important. They're a content machine. That's why they got rid of the network, because at some point they realized there's no point in being of self-distributing. What actual broadcasters want now, and the streaming services want, they want more content, and hell, we can even provide them with live content. Because don't forget now, live content ad rates are at the highest they have ever been, because it is the only type of television programming right now that attracts viewers to sit down at that moment. Not everyone tuned in to watch. I know it's maybe not a good comparison, but Game of Thrones on HBO on Sunday nights when it was on, because you could watch in just about any time, unless you really wanted to go on the message boards without being spoiled, kind of thing. Look at me talking about message boards like it's 2002.
The wife and I do that. We don't. It's hard with our lives to get a show live.
Sure.
So we'll binge watch it later, or we'll watch it that night. And
but the game, the wild card. Playoff games for the NFL, the NHL, the Stanley Cup, or even this bullshit, the Masked Singer and all that shit. It's live content that people are going to be like, look, if I miss this, I'm not going to go back. Who watches a baseball game 2 days after it's happened? No one does that. If you're not going to watch it, you're not going to watch it. But people So WWE has that ace in its hole, and it produces so much content. Yeah. So that will always be I think, their secret.
So are you saying it's not going to get any better, Warren?
It's going to take a mass. Here's my gut, okay? Because it's really going to take a massive change, but I don't. Trust me, it's not going to get big. People are still like crossing their fingers once Vince departs from this mortal coil, WWE is going to be saved. I'm sorry, but it ain't. No. Tony Khan is being groomed, and he is the heir apparent. And I think Vince has his successor. He has the guy that he wants WWE to get to go moving forward, right? I really do. And I don't think it's going to, I think it's going to become more and more entertaining if you look at what they're doing with NXT 2.0 right now. And if that is what they're technically grooming their next set of wrestlers to be doing, if this is what their vision for the creative is for the next 5-10 years, boys, it's not going to get any better. It is absolutely not. And it's just going to get goofier. The comparisons with the new generation back in the early 90s are going to be apparent.
Yep.
But the difference here is that WWE is going to be a cash machine. It's too big to fail.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, someone's going to pick it up and it's going to continue. WWE really is at an instance in its existence that it is too big to fail. Someone is going to buy it regardless of what happens. It will always press on. But I don't think it's going to get any better.
Forever, man.
What's more likely to happen? I beat Holden Albright 1-on-1 in a death match, or WWE programming gets better overall?
My money's on you, Pluggo.
Oh,
All right.
there it is.
Clip that, baby. Let's go. Warren, I know you have a show coming up shortly, so if you would
look at that.
get those plugs out of the way, you gave us a lot more time than we had paid for, so we appreciate it.
This was some fun conversation. We started.
Oh,
started
absolutely.
Here, we went there, and it's a lot of fun, and it's fun to. It's topics that I really enjoy. You guys finish at 9, right? Like I don't want to 9:30ish. Look, once everyone is done here, how about that? Once everyone is done here watching Joe and Pluggo chat about wrestling, and you want to hear some more, head on over to youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. I will be in the midst of the Mr. Warren Hayes show where I discuss the weekly happenings in the world of professional wrestling with my own little 2 eyes and live chat, lots of good times. youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. Come join me, but take care of these boys first.
You usually catch Pluggo and myself. We usually hop in there, hop in the chat once we're done here on Thursday.
I usually know just about when you're done. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, we hop in, we say our hellos, and we'll watch the rest of the show. So yeah, you can chat with us in that live chat too. Warren always does a great show. So.
And for those that may catch the end after they leave us and go to you, you can always catch you on the audio side the next morning, like I do in my car.
Oh, look at that.
With my kids on Friday, and they're like, isn't that guy? I can't start this voice, Daddy.
That's true. On all podcast applications the very next day. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all of those. Hey, and the cool thing now is that on Spotify, you can even watch the video. You can flip between audio and video now. So
Very cool.
There's no excuse to not look at this face.
If you're looking for a person to grab onto after we have passed away from Holden Albright's beatdown, Warren Hayes is your guy. Show him some love. Warren, thank you as always. Yeah, put it in the will. All of our followers have to go to Warren.
There you go. You'll be bound.
When we talk to our lawyer tomorrow after Spencer deals with us, we'll make sure we have that in there. So.
Take care, you guys. It was
thank you, Warren. Always a pleasure, my friend. Anytime.
Let's see you soon.
See you later. Always a time.
Always a time for Mr. Warren Hayes to stop by and spend Spencer's money one last time.
That was good. That was good. All right. Well, on that note, before we start moving on, we got a couple other things to play tonight. It's been a little bit, maybe a week or two since our good old buddy, we had him on the show a few weeks ago. Mr. Josh Robinson was a little unhinged. So I'm thinking now, before we dive into some more wrestling talk, Ali was going to be in our wrestling talk, but since Warren talked about it, there's still a whole boatload of other wrestling topics to hit on. And we'll start hitting your comments, and we'll start chatting about what you guys in the chat want to talk about too. But before that, our friend Josh gets a little unhinged.
Hello there, friends. It's Royal Rumble time. The Royal Rumble is a mere week and a bit away. And, why did WWE got to suck the fun out of everything and tell us who's in the Rumble and tell us, they may as well give us a fucking list from 1 to 30 of when everyone's coming out at this stage. Just let us be surprised. It's like Christmas. It's like Santa Claus. You don't want to know anything about Santa Claus. You just want to believe. You want to believe. I just want to believe in the Royal Rumble. I want to believe in surprises. I want to believe in having fun. And they like to suck the fun out of everything. I know it's not the most unhinged, unoriginal type of content that I can create, but I don't care. Stop sucking the fun out of everything, guys. Just let us live in the moment. There's still a bunch more WWE shows, it's a whole week, so like 65 WWE shows until the Rumble. That gives them plenty of time to have a match for number 1 or have a match for number 30. I just like that kind of calm silence after the ring announcer says, and now it's time for the Royal Rumble match. And then they explain the rules and they pan the crowd and everyone's like, who's number 1? Oh my fucking God, it's Doink the Clown. You know what I mean? Like, I love that shit. Let's get back to that. but WWE will tell us, and it pisses me off. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Mwah.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Oh my God. I'm actually, spoiler alert, I'm writing about that right now.
Are you?
I am. I'm writing a little something about the Rumble.
Oh,
But yeah,
I like it. I like
what
it.
are they doing? What are they doing? Like,
Yeah,
why take the fun out of it? You already got my money.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like Josh and I talked a little bit about it in the Power Hour, and we're having our Royal Rumble Spectacular next week. But it's true. I understand the logic of, hey, let's announce some because, people will watch if we announce pre, and we'll get a better buy rate or whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays. But at the same time, like Josh says, like, we're wrestling. We want the Royal Rumble is the time for surprises. Like, that's the event where we know going into it, like, oh man, there's going to be some surprises tonight. This is cool. Like, that's part of the reason why everyone, most people love I love the Royal Rumble. I love the Royal Rumble.
Also, why you don't need to do that, because everybody gets excited for the what ifs, the who's coming, what's happening. Like, you don't need to like announce a bunch of stuff ahead of time, especially they just like, in my opinion, they cut the legs out of the women's Rumble. Like, yeah, it's still going to be a good and fun match, but like Josh said, like, you just told me 21 of the 30 competitors. And imagine if Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts champion, walked through that door without announcing it first. Everybody would be like, what just happened? The roof would blow off that place. But you're like, Mickie James will be there. The Bellas will be there. Like, you just took it out. Like, the Bellas being back is a big deal. Nikki Bella wrestling I know there's a lot of Bella haters, but that's a big deal with her neck and stuff. Like, her being able to wrestle in 2022 should be a bigger deal than just like, they're going to be there. Like, come on. Just,
It's a bummer, and especially like you said, like now, we know 21, that still leaves 9, I guess. But if you think they're going to throw in some more of their own talent, I don't know. It's just, like, some of those, you didn't have to announce all of them. Like, you want to announce the Bellas, they have the fine. You want to, but like, did you have to announce the Bellas and Michelle McCool and Mickie James and Lita and Kelly and, like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to announce all of those, right? Pick a couple. The Bellas will get a rating. Mickie James, because she's in another company, that'll get some buzz. We're going to announce those 3, but we don't have to announce the rest. Like, it's just like,
but even that they got like the money.
Josh says, Bliss is probably a spot. Asuka, if Bayley comes back, that's a spot.
Bayley comes back, she wins it. I'm calling it.
I think, my 2 going into it that I thought, which I don't think it'll be Liv Morgan anymore, sadly. But I said Bayley returns and wins it, or Liv Morgan. But I think the way things are going, I don't, it is what it is.
It's not like they have a ton of surprises left anyway, because their roster of women is so they couldn't have filled 30. In terms of main roster women, which is sad. It's just like Josh said, and I fully agree, and I echo the sentiments 100%. Like, this is the time of year where there's just anything could happen. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Who's showing up at the Rumble? Like, that's the fun of it. Is like, we don't know. Like, this should be the one event where they go, we'll see. We'll see. Yep. Sure, if you need to boost an angle with a title, like have like somebody fight for the number 1 spot type deal, or I can see that. Or hey, you get 30, like that's fine. But to just knock out 21 of the 30, like 9 surprises, but you could have 30 surprises, and the surprises you already announced would have been huge.
Josh says we don't need to know Santa isn't real. Just give us the presents, He's right. He's right. Yeah.
That's why we have him on. We are Josh Robinson stands on this account.
Obviously.
And we will not stand for any slander of Josh Robinson anywhere.
Correct. I will fight somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the Royal Rumble in general next week the card is loaded too. There's big matches that aren't even the Rumbles. So that is sizing up. And I know Josh will get sad because it's a Sunday for him, but it's a Saturday night here. And that just is like, like, I'm just like, woo, I don't got to wake up ass early the next day to go to work. Thank you. Let me enjoy my Royal Rumble. I always do, but the Saturday, mwah, mwah, I love it.
I'm with you. When the Bella twins were announced, my wife started looking up tickets and we thought about it, but we got those crazy kids, so it was kind of logistics. I said, honey, let's just throw a Royal Rumble party that night because we don't have to work on Sundays. Let's go.
Bro. Yes. If it was easy for me to get to you, I would be coming to that.
Hey,
party.
man, you're welcome. Doors open. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I love this. Is my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Mine too, and Josh's as well. I mean, it's a lot of people's favorite. It's the one that, even as down as I've been on WWE for a long time, like I said when we were talking with Warren, it's been very WWE heavy so far. But when we were talking with Warren, like, I still watch the shows every week because I still like WWE. Like that when I complain or I say these things, it's not because I want it to be better. I just want to watch the show and be like, okay, this is worth my time watching the show. Like I don't feel like I'm a moron or they think I'm a moron.
All they've done with me is they've changed my watching habits. Like,
yes,
I used to think I needed to get to,
I have to watch Raw at 8 o'clock. It's Monday. I can't do anything. I got to watch Raw. No.
Now I watch it on my convenience. I pop it on Hulu and I'll watch it throughout the week. If there's something I must see, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to devote 3 hours of my life to something that I just know that is repetitive and there's not a lot of stakes to it. And that's really sad. So, I mean, thank God for the innovation of the Hulu and Peacock Network and all that fun stuff, because I can watch it at my own leisure now. But I'm just not worried now. If I miss a Friday night SmackDown on Friday night, I'm not like upset. And I'm going to say, if you miss an AEW show right now, they've got it. They've got this, like, you might miss something huge. And, the WWE, for better or worse, or whichever side you're on, I feel like they need to get back to that, like, oh shit moments, like, oh, that just happened. Like, cool. And the Royal Rumble is there. Oh shit. Who just showed up?
Yeah.
And they've taken the legs out of that.
Yep.
Anyway.
But, I mean, it should still be it's sizing up to still be a great event, and it will be, and I'm still jacked up about it. It's just, I would like to.
Do you want to keep getting fired up, or do you want to?
Oh no, we got some stuff to talk about. Your best friend was in the chat earlier. He called us the problem child flagship of Love Wrestling. So
was he saying that more towards Warren? Like,
yeah,
Warren's
no. He was saying that towards us. But he is your best friend, so I don't know. Maybe you have to give him a little bit of a talking before, maybe. But all right, we do have a lot to talk about. We haven't even touched any of the AEW stuff. I do want to talk about Mox. Yes. I do want to talk about Kodi. Oh my. Oh boy, I'm seeing it. We might be having our own invasion here. Oh God! Did he hear me talking crap? I wasn't even talking crap. I was just saying. Oh no! But anyway,
he's all.
I do want to talk Mox.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear, gentlemen. I heard promos were being discussed, and I couldn't help. My promo senses, they were a tingling. So, should we talk about Moxley, or should we talk about Kodi? Because I have not gone holy. Actually, you know what?
We've dropped a few. We've dropped a few.
I haven't dropped a holy fuck twice in an AEW show over a promo in so long. Spencer, come at me. I don't care. I am untouchable.
No, we can. You know what? Yes. And like Josh Robinson says, go fuck yourself, Mox. That's what he said. So
it's nice. Go fuck yourself. I was like, yes.
Jesus. GFY,
whatever.
Guys.
We're pillars, guys.
GFY.
Yeah,
Fozzie.
he needs to stop trying to get that over. That's not going to work. That ain't going to get over. That ain't gonna get over.
50s, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Stop.
All right, let's talk Mox. He opened the show, opened Dynamite last night, looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the before and after pictures that was floating on the social webs today, the interwebs. Looks like a completely different person. He looks healthy, lean, and he gets in the ring, crowds chanting his name, and some dickhead said something like, get that drunk out of the ring or give him a drink or something like that.
I believe it was something along the lines of get that drunk piece of shit out of there. I rewound it today because I watch this on my VCR every week.
Yeah.
And
Spencer, get this man a Blu-ray. Let's go.
I paid enough on this product, so I don't give a shit anymore. Like, goddamn, I listen to 8-track tapes and not for the sound quality. I will be perfectly honest.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's a disaster.
Anyway.
So I rewound it. It was a terrible thing to say, and I'm glad that Moxley on a live.
I am too, and I'm glad that they didn't cut it out. I'm glad they didn't cut it out. No bleep, no nothing. He said, "Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here."
Yeah, but Archer got another one in later on in the night too. In the middle of his match, you heard somebody going, "You're a piece of shit," and he just leaned over, "Fuck you," and went on with the match.
Incredible. It was incredible.
It was just like, I love you, Lance Archer. I love you.
But this Moxley promo, excellent. Just so good. He got real. He said, I have more scars on my body than most humans probably do, but it's the scars on the inside that we should be talking about, and we should be not shy to talk about, because those are the scars that make us who we are.
And that is an amazing line from a man of his stature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he gives you that badass persona. Oh, yeah. Like,
I don't think it's a persona. I think he is just a badass.
What I'm saying is, like,
exactly.
In the
general feeling.
And for him to come out and be so open about his demons is huge. I thought about it a lot today. Because, coming from a place of like we talked on the show, I've been sober for 3.5 years. I don't drink. For him to sit like 20, 30 years ago, he would have been, suck it up, kid, whatever, let's laughed off and like probably lost his spot. But we have a guy of his stature openly talking about this in a macho sport. Like, that's huge, and that's a good thing. Like, it shows people, maybe like me, that like, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one dealing with this, and it is okay to talk about your feelings and go seek help. Like, please go seek help. Like we talk on the show, if anybody's listening and they need to reach out to us. Like, it's okay, and I think that's awesome. And he came out, and I think he killed it. He made, I think he said everything right. And I love that the crowd backed him when he was like, get this piece of crap out of here. Like,
oh yeah,
that's where we're at now. Like, it is okay to need help and to seek it out. And you can still be the badass that we all love. And nobody's looking any down on you except for clowns like that one guy. But we don't give that type of person the time of day.
No, they don't deserve it, because, I mean, let's just examine that for a moment if we can. Oh, suck it up, because it's a hard life. And you know what, there is a reason that people are living longer nowadays, because this whole stigma of, oh well, you're a man, you need to drink a bottle of whiskey if you're having problems, that works for only so long. Like, that's the problem. And I think that's become a stigma in a lot of professions. And I'll be honest, I've fallen down that trap too. But we have to push this narrative of, it is not about the quote unquote medication or bottling it up or whatever it is that Bill Burr says. It's like you take the emotions and you push them down as far as you can. We don't have to do that. No. And Moxley did the perfect thing here. Didn't bottle it down. You can tell he has been through the ringer in the last 3 months. Because rehabilitation is not easy, especially when you have a new kid and your wife, and it's just like, you're also one of the top wrestlers in the world right now.
Oh yeah, big time.
I have nothing bad to say about any of what he did. And I think it's commendable that a company like AEW, I'm not going to mention another company that wouldn't give two shits about their people, but oh, you need rehab, you're fired. That's just my personal opinion.
It's happened.
But it's good to see it. I was very happy.
He could have.
Yeah, go ahead, Pluggo.
I would say Mox could have easily, given everything you just said, I don't have a problem. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm John F. and Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot for someone to go get help when they, especially in his position where, like we said, it could be taken, one of two ways. You either support him or you have people that think he's a wimp now. But again, good for him. Say it to his face. Exactly. It's easy to say it from the rafters.
Correct.
Yeah, Holden Albright. It's easy to say it in video. Say it to my face.
Oh boy.
You're
getting yourself in trouble. You are getting yourself in trouble.
But no, I don't mean to make light of the Mox talk. But again, it's much harder to seek the help and go through what he went through to get to where he's at now. And I hope with all of me that he stays the course. I hope he came back on his own volition. I hope that there wasn't pressure from outside sources to make him come back, because he needed that time. And I'm glad he's back, and I hope he's successful. And I'm always going to root for him in this. I was a fan before. I'm even more of a fan now.
Yeah. And I thought, he said those things about the scars and things like that. And then he also said, like, he's not going to let this demon beat him. He's going to kick the shit out of it. And at the end, he said the only thing that he's drinking nowadays is blood. And
he's going to be drinking a lot of blood on Sunday, I can tell you now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it was a very, very good promo. It was just good to see him back. And it was good to see him. He looked healthy. He was thinner, lean. He just looked like he was in a much better spot. And, it's one of those things, until I saw that picture of the before and after, I didn't know any better. I was just like, oh, that's just what he looks like now, Moxley. But he was red and he looked bigger and you can tell the difference. And it was just a hell of a promo. It was a hell of a promo. And
he looks excited to be back. Like, I can't.
Oh, I bet.
He's chomping at the bit. I think, like you said, Sunday, first chance we're going to get to see him. Oh, my God.
Friday, actually. We're seeing him on Friday because he's fighting.
He's fighting on Rampage.
That's right.
All Ego Ethan Page.
Oh, my bad. I forgot all about that. I was just laser focused.
But no, Sunday, though.
Yeah.
At the GCW show. That's going to be something.
I'll tell you exactly why Pluggo forgot about Moxley having a match on Friday. We all know. It's Hook versus Serpentico on Friday.
It is. It's Hook.
That's why.
It's the only thing Rampage has become the Hook show.
The Hook show. That's what it is.
So Friday night, the thing of importance is Hook. Well, that's just the way it goes.
Moxley's an added bonus there, but no, it's going to be the Hook show.
All Hook all the time.
Yep. Well, we got to talk about another promo that was on Dynamite last night.
He sucks.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'll cut in, and I'll.
You cut in,
but it's fine.
I thought that this Cody Rhodes promo ruled.
It did.
That's what I thought. I thought this was Bullet Club independent wrestler pre-AEW. This was that Cody to me.
Mixed.
That's what this felt like.
Mixed in with a little dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yes. This felt like the old. Oh yeah. So the CM Punk match had just happened. The CM Punk match and segment just happened, and Cody starts the promo by talking about the pipe bomb, and he's like, I remember the guy we just saw sitting on the ring, and he was talking about going to New Japan, and he was talking about working for Ring of Honor, and he talked about teaming up with the Bucks and all these things. And he goes, but as the future winded up or winded down, he couldn't do those things. He goes, but you know who did? Me. I was the guy. And he goes, and when I did all that stuff, you guys cheered me. You cheered me. And now you boo me. And it was one of those things where I was just like, man, I was like, he's 100% right. He's 100% right. And he was almost like, Cody has had, and, he came out publicly and he did say that the Anthony Ogogo stuff, he would redo 1,000 times over again, because that's when stuff kind of started going sour for Kodi, when people were like, no, I don't think we like Kodi anymore.
Ever since he got the Rhodes name back, it's all been
it was around that stuff, I feel like, is when everyone was kind of like, no, we're done with you. And like in the promo, he almost was like putting it back on us, like, how dare you boo me? Like, how dare you boo me? I was doing all these things. You loved me. And now what? How dare you? Like, he was like almost like
stupid neck tattoo.
Well, yeah, that was another one. That was another one.
That was the last straw with me.
Yeah, that was another one.
I don't hate it. It's grown on me. At first, I was like, yeah, that's
what?
At first, it was
He's
like
an executive vice president
so what?
of the company.
Professional wrestling. What are you trying to say? That
he's got to go to a board meeting in a suit, and you got that thing sticking on your neck.
But he's also got to go into that meeting beside Nick Jackson.
It's true.
Matt's okay. Like I'm a huge mark for Matt Jackson, but Nick
how we doing,
Jackson,
Bobby? Thanks for hopping in.
You seen that guy's facial hair? Let's be honest here. We're on a show called Between Two Beards.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's a fucking abomination.
Between two beards and a little bit of stubble. Is it growing all? He's got like the Joe Dirt, like it just grows in all white trashy like that.
Oh, it's so white trashy. It's so.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, like it grew on me. I was like, okay, it's not the worst tattoo in the world. It's not the greatest placement, sure. Hey, what are you doing in the comments, Ecto guy? You're supposed to be behind the glass. Alex was on assignment today.
Alex was on assignment.
This show has gotten
He's not
off
with
the
us
rails
this evening, but no, we're good. What? We're hitting the bullet points.
Our lives were
the bullet points.
Our lives were threatened, though, Alex. You did miss that. Right off the jump, our lives were threatened.
Pardon
by
me?
One Holden Albright. I'm not going to think of the proper word, but Holden was speaking for Spencer.
All I'm going to say is I'll step up because listen, I've lived a good.
You
life.
already announced that you will
fight, love. Let's go.
You know that Spencer's going to try his best to get you on the next Love Pro Wrestling show, and you're going to fight him in a death match, and he's going to kill you.
I've been watching a lot of Hook. I know
he's going to literally kill you. But all right, Wordsmith, I want your opinion of the Kodi promo. Yes. I know we dabbled in it, but I want your full opinion. What I know earlier you said that it's very rare that you scream "Holy fuck" at the TV for one promo, let alone two. So give us your full recap of the Kodi promo.
I have to start off by a little bit of criticism. I didn't like that we saw him setting up the ladder in the picture-in-picture. Because if I'm looking at a professional wrestler that's supposed to be this big, tough guy, and he can't get a ladder out or find it, and you're an EVP,
don't you have people to
I care more about that with the EVP. Like, you're the EVP, that you should know where the ladders are.
And you should not be the one lifting the ladders. This is
correct.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. What he should have done is pointed at someone and said, "Get this in the
do
ring."
it.
Yeah. Tim, I did not smell.
Where was Cutler for this? Where was Cutler during this?
Landon.
Hey, his name is Brandon. All right.
Landon.
I love that. I love that Trent was like being nice to him. That's another cool thing too. Roppongi Vice getting back together on Rampage
so
on Friday.
Happy to see
that's awesome. And fighting the Bucks too. Like, that's a cool, like, we've seen this 1,000 times, but this is like a cool, like, one last time throwback to
never seen it
good
here
rivalry.
Before.
Exactly. Very cool. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
I've thoroughly enjoyed that promo beyond all reason. What was the moment that I went, holy fuck? I totally forgot which one it was.
Was it the turn?
Whole time.
The turn?
The just before the turn, when he was just like, and I did it, and then he just turns his back to the hard camera and looks over his shoulder. I was like, this. How do I like him again? I should not.
I think that's what it was. I think
he's
that's
got this horrible coat on. Like, he's got this horrible suit on with a stupid chain, and I'm like, that's dashing Cody Rhodes turned up to like 35, and I'm in charge.
Yeah. It's one of those things where he's not a heel, but he's definitely not a good guy. He's playing both sides of it, right?
He's the American Nightmare.
So,
and also, this is dashing Cody Rhodes territory. Bash it all you want in the comments, folks. This is Dashing Cody Rhodes that is married and has children now. And doesn't care. And doesn't have a million-year-old man telling him, oh, damn it, I think you should go out there and have a horrible face mask. He just replaced the face mask with a bad tattoo, is what happened.
What up, Parrish?
What up, Parrish? Thanks for hopping in the chat, my friend. We're talking a little Cody Rhodes and the promo from last night in AEW Dynamite. Wordsmith, I agree with you. I thought I was watching that thing and I was like, man, those people were booing him when he started talking. And right once he started going firing on all cylinders, it was like, oh, yeah, they're cheering. They're literally clapping for him, cheering for him. It's like, because they all know he's right. Without Cody Rhodes,
very few people that can put all of that into a promo the way he did it.
Yes. But the bottom line is whether you like him or dislike him, he's right. Without him, AEW does not he was the last piece that they with Khan, with Jericho, but like he was the guy that needed to leave WWE with the Rhodes name, meet the Bucks, become best friends with the Bucks. Like that all needed to happen to get to where we are right now.
Can we pull up that latest comment really quick?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
It's true.
Oh my
true.
God, I loved that as well.
It's true. Yes, because technically, according to Fightful, they released the news earlier. Was it earlier this week? Yes. Yeah.
I believe it was.
That Cody Rhodes currently does not have a contract with AEW, so he is working for them as a free agent. So now, I think as we saw last night, I don't expect much business to change. I think Cody's going to stay in AEW and business will go on as it has been. Like, I don't think we'll notice a difference. I don't think Cody's leaving anywhere.
He's winning,
but that is
what he's doing.
Oh, that would be incredible.
With his sledgehammer. He's coming
that
out.
Would be
Vince has no idea that Cody is not Triple H. That's all I'm saying. He's like, oh, wait.
They both have short hair.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
both like hammers for some reason.
And it's one of those things. And then, he's talking about the forbidden door. And he's saying, oh, the forbidden door. And he goes, I built the forbidden door. And he's like, oh, it was.
Wouldn't him showing up in the Rumble, though, be like the full heel turn? Because the AEW, that's like we talked about it with MJF, talking about he might sign in 2024. That's like the most heel shit you can do is talk about like I might go to the other guy. Like Cody showing up in the Rumble, if he wants everyone to turn on him, like, woo, then he goes to the Rumble on Saturday, shows up in AEW on Wednesday. Like, you're telling me that place just doesn't boo him out the building for being on the evil empire, so to speak? Like, that would be insane.
It would be insane if they did it. Again,
they're not going to.
It's not going to happen. But like, if this was the plan, and Cody reached out to, that would have to be Vince, and he was like, "Hey, let me be in the Rumble." I do think Vince would be like, "No, get the hell out of here." But like, you got to think about that one, right? Be like, "Oh man, that'd be cool."
There's only one condition, pal.
You're Stardust.
Stardust and Stephen Amell is throwing you over the top rope.
Yeah. You're going into Stardust, man. That's it. You Stardust.
Yeah, that's it.
Cosmic Key, baby.
But yes, I thought, and I think a lot of people are feeling the way you are, Wordsmith, where it's like, I shouldn't like this person, but God damn it, I cannot not like this person.
Well, it's because I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
And I understand what the people think.
Yep. That is 100% true. Anything else you wanted to touch? So did you watch the whole episode of Dynamite?
Well, I watched the whole episode, and boy, howdy. There was a third promo.
Oh.
I am very, very interested to see where we go with the bastard.
Yes.
And the I don't even know what to describe Malachi as anymore. Just the sheer, I guess, murderer at this point, because what they did to Varsity Blondes was not nice. This is a violation. This needs to stop.
The things that I liked was when they announced them, they said that they weren't representing, or they weren't from the House of Black. They were honoring the House of Black. That's what they said.
What does that mean?
I don't even know. Oh man, that was good. The finishing move is called Dante's Inferno.
And they just
I believe their
murder a man.
What was their tag?
happened?
The tag team name was something of the king. Something
Kings of the Black Throne.
Kings of the Black Throne.
And I actually heard about this last night on Twitter. Didn't watch it live. And what's the guy's? I guess it's Ruckus. Is that the gentleman?
Oh,
that makes the music?
Mikey Ruckus.
Mikey
Yeah, he does
Ruckus.
the music.
Let me see if I can pull up the tweet here. He tweeted out, "That wasn't me. I can't write something that heavy. That is Brody's band."
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And they're dirty. Like,
Are they? I have not listened.
Oh, they are interesting. It's been quite a few years since the Madam M has given me the rude look of, why are we listening to this? And I missed that look, and I got that look from that particular brand of music. So
all right,
yes, it's very hardcore, as the kids would call it.
All right, I'll have to check
Shameless
that out.
plug. If you want to hear about some more hardcore metal, dirty music, check out last week's episode with Alicia too.
That is true. That's what we talked about.
That was a damn good episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. From my best friend, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know the check's in the mail. I get it.
Anything else you would like to chat about this evening, my friend?
Well, I did want to let a little something loose on you guys. I have 2 exclusives here.
I say, did you buy 4 Christmas trees?
No, I actually have 2 in my home
2?
right now. I have 2 Christmas trees.
We're getting there.
No, we're not. We're not going to 2. Stop trying to make this happen.
It's stopping at 2.
One of them is mini. It doesn't count. That's how I get away with it. That's how I deal with it mentally. However, on Monday, this coming Monday, we are going on Poetry of a Promo to the most expletive-filled version of One Brett the Hitman Hart.
Ooh.
And then that's a little teaser. And then we're going the next week, and mark this on your calendars, folks. The week after next, we are going to the land of extreme with the loose effing cannon.
Ooh.
It will be completely uncensored because, well, the budget doesn't matter. As I've learned from my best friend, you can't cancel me. You can't. Clip that.
I am infecting the Love Wrestling team. They're
The
starting
infection
to
should grow.
They're all getting bold now. You're welcome, Spencer.
Oh, yes. And on that note, gentlemen, unless you have anything else for, the eloquence of the wordsmith that is, I will bid you adieu.
That is okay, because actually we're about to play a video that features you right now for one of our sponsors.
Well, I'll stick around after that.
You stick around, watch yourself. It's quite the video. It's fantastic.
I may have had something to do with it.
Yeah. But as you've heard,
with it.
yeah. So we have the wordsmith talking about our newest sponsor here at Love Wrestling. And I know you've heard me and Pluggo talking about it the last, 3 or 4 episodes, but here is the wordsmith on Manscaped.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you something, everyone. If you go over to manscaped.com, right this moment in time, right now, you can save 20% off of your next purchase at manscaped.com. But how am I going to save 20%, I hear you ask? Well, let the wordsmith tell you. Because if you enter promo code Love Wrestling, that's right, Love Wrestling. You can see it down here. You can see it scrolling across the screen. Enter promo code Love Wrestling and save 20% off of anything you find on that website. And also, you'll get free shipping. How crazy is that? 20% off. You can use it to buy the Lawnmower 4.0. And at the end of the day, balls are going to thank you because, like the headline says, at manscaped.com, we save balls. And it's just too sweet.
Fantastic.
Couldn't agree more, baby. That was
Fantastic
awesome.
stuff.
You see, my influences are Scorsese, Spielberg,
And Pluggo.
and yes, and my best friend Pluggo, and all the horrible films of Kevin Smith that no one's ever seen. Yoga
I've seen them
Hosers.
all.
That is where I draw my inspiration from.
Okay, I haven't seen
Glamthrax is the best band in the. I digress. Anyway, gentlemen, I must bid thee adieu. So,
thank you for joining us, my friend. Always a pleasure.
absolutely, the pleasure is all mine. By the way, go and support me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever bullshit I'm on, at Poetry of a Promo, and go and listen to my show, Poetry of a Promo.
Yes, it's excellent.
Yes.
Everyone should go give that a listen. It's
don't have to
always
listen to it.
very good.
You can visualize it, experience it,
That is true.
learn from it. Well, maybe not that last one, but anyway, on with the show. Ta-ta, gentlemen. Until next time.
Bye, best friend.
Bye.
Bye. I love you.
Oh, no, I almost ended your broadcast. I'm leaving.
Oh!
Oh, that would have been fun. That would have been fun. Imagine that. He just ends the broadcast. Oh,
Shuts
what
it
a
down.
time. But like you saw in that fantastic video, if you do go over to manscaped.com and you type in the code Love Wrestling, you will receive 20% off your Manscaped order plus free shipping. We've said it as we've talked about it the last few weeks. I have been a customer of theirs for a long time now. Their products are excellent. And it's always good to keep up with your junk. If we're just being real, keep up with your junk. Keep it fresh. Make sure that the downstairs doesn't look like Pluggo and I's upstairs. You will appreciate it. It'll make you feel better. You'll feel fresher. Your partner will also appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
You know, manscaped.com. Go ahead. Yeah, go.
My balls have never smelled better. That's all
There
I'm
you go.
going to say.
There it is.
Yeah, enjoy that little tidbit.
Crop preserver, ball deodorant. They have
Ooh.
ball wipes. They got all sorts of products to keep your private areas as fresh and as clean and as smelling as wonderful as they possibly can. So that is manscaped.com. The code is Love Wrestling. That'll let you know that we sent you there, that you love us and you love them. You'll get 20% off and free shipping over at manscaped.com. All
So
right.
my balls don't smell, but you know what stinks, JPJ?
What is that?
NXT 2.0 made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
I think it's time we talk about it.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get pissed. All right. Ooh. All right.
And
This
if
was
you haven't heard,
all right.
they took the only thing that was pure and wonderful
I'm settling.
and ruined it.
I'm settling in. Okay. So
Walter is now Gunther. What the?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So Wordsmith says, I'm so glad I left before this segment.
Oh.
And yes, like Ed says on NXT on Tuesday, they did talk about it at length. You are 100% wrong, my friend.
Ed?
No.
I will
No.
ban you
Yeah, no.
from
Here's the
all
thing.
love wrestling.
So,
if you
so
say
for
that
me,
again.
so for me, there's two different aspects to this. There's actually what occurred on screen, and then there's the bigger picture where WWE went and trademarked the name Gunther Stark. Okay, so
For
this
those
was
that
this was the original thing a week, 2 weeks ago. I'm terrible with time, but whatever. A little while ago, WWE did a trademark for Gunther Stark. And as internet people Googled the name, they checked it out, and it apparently Gunther Stark was part of the Nazi regime in the heyday. As Ed said, thank you, sir. It happened on January 13th. So a week from today. And like Wordsmith says, yeah, you would hope somebody in the company might Google it just to double check, but I guess not. But So anyway, but Gunther Stark was in the Nazi regime. And now we find out, as of this past Tuesday, and what gets overshadowed completely was how damn good of a match Walter and Roderick Strong had.
Yeah.
And that main event was so good, as you would expect it to be, with those two guys. He was a U-boat captain during World War II. He died in 1944 in the service of the Nazi Party.
Why do I feel like Ed just knows that? I don't even think he Googled that.
Hey, I have a couple friends that know stuff like that. I'm just
that's all I'm saying.
It's amazing.
Ed with the facts, and we live rent-free in his head. Those are two certainties in life. That's all I know.
Boom. So they do that. And now we find out that name was being trademarked because Walter is over here in America now. He's going to be here for a bit. They were going to change his name to Gunther Stark. But instead, I'm assuming once all the chatter came about, like, hey, this is stupid, the Nazi guy, what are you doing? They were like, we're just going to call him Gunther. Gunther.
My question is, why?
Well, this is what pisses me. All right. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that Walter is this fabulous name either. It's Walter. That's fine. But the dude, so you say you got to ask why. For me, the thing that I ask is, it's just not necessary. You don't have to do that.
No. Like he was already established.
He's already established. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows he's a badass. Everyone knows he's a main eventer. Everyone knows he's fucking Walter. That's what he is. Walter. Why? You don't have to do it. There is no need to do it. Period.
But so there was always this, like, Walter didn't want to come over to the States. He was going to stay in Austria. He loves it over there. He was going to be the big focal point in NXT UK. It's like they got him to come over here and they convinced him that this is where he
like, how do you think he felt about that? That they finally convinced him. They're like, hey, man, we got some plans. Like, we want to make you a big deal over here. And he's like, all right, cool. Yeah. He's like, finally goes, I never really wanted to, but you're whatever, fine. Yeah, and they go, first, all right, hey, we're glad to have you here. First thing you should know is we're changing your name to Gunther.
Gunther. I would not take a chop from Walter, but I'll square up to a Gunther all day.
Yeah, we're around the same age. You ever remember? Oh my God, what was the movie? There was a Disney Channel movie, The Paper Brigade. It was about kids when they were delivering newspapers.
No, I mean, I've heard. I don't remember.
Okay, well, the main character in that movie's name is Gunther. And when I hear the name Gunther, that's what I think about. I don't think about this tough Austrian guy that's going to kill me.
His friends, Gunther, the guy.
Yeah, Gunther. R.I.P. He R.I.P. in real life. Yeah, I think he died this year, actually. But R.I.P.
I just don't understand. Like, so what kills? Okay, so when they get these people from the indies and they put him into NXT, like the Shane Stricklands of the world, and you change his name to Swerve Scott. Yeah, that stings, but I kind of understand it because he's just there. You want to make him your own. But you've had Walter for how many years now?
Yeah, he's been on.
He's been on the main roster. He did a Survivor Series. He's your longest reigning UK champion. He's been on NXT constantly. He has a stable.
Yeah.
And now you're like, wait, this Walter thing just isn't working anymore?
Yeah.
Like,
he's over here now. He can't be. Yeah. We got this. He needs to be different.
What the
yeah.
We've burned a lot of F-bombs today, so I'm going to hold back. But
Oh my god!
I
It's
just don't
like
there's tweaking things to adjust on, and then there's just tweaking too much. Like, leave him alone.
Walter's a guy.
Fine.
Yeah, Walter's a guy that, like, I would argue when he came over, if you agreed to get him over to the States, that he shouldn't even be on NXT.
Yeah.
He should have went to the main roster. You need to find someone to challenge Roman Reigns. Walter. Like that's what I think about when I think of what, like, that's the caliber individual that I think about when I see Walter.
Sure,
and like
NXT, but not NXT 2.0. He definitely doesn't need to be there. Like,
no. And it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, you're gonna do a run in NXT, and like you're gonna do a run in NXT 2.0, fine, whatever. But like, he can be Walter. Like, you don't have to. It's just so unnecessary. It's just so unnecessary. And I guess that's just the end of it for me, where I'm just like, and they do it all the time. They change names. They do whatever. Like, to me, it was just like, dude, this guy was already made for you. He was already made for you. Like, it was just, we have Walter. Okay, cool. Like, he's an established, made main eventer, made star for you. And you brought him over here and you're like, all right, well, we got to do this and we got to change his name. And like, it's just like, oh, well, you don't have to do that
again. And
then you change his name to Gunther
Stark, Nazi. Like, it, yeah.
I don't. Well, they didn't. I know that everybody's
on
the Stark. But
I know that everybody's bashing the WWE for not doing their research, and I hate to say this, but I think they fully did. And they're like, you know what? Let's play it up. He's a foreign, German, Austrian guy. Let's go with it. And then people were like, nah. Because if we hadn't said a word, if the internet wrestling community didn't say a word, they would probably, it would have been on TV. They'd have been like, okay, cool, we're going to go with it. And ha ha ha. Because it's not the first time they've done some insensitive BS or tried to, didn't do their research. And I don't know, man. But all I know is he is forever going to be Walter. I refuse to call him Gunther. I don't care. No, even if there's a fire, like, he is Walter forever. Quit screwing with things like this. I just don't. It just, again, established. He's there. He's 600 plus day UK champion. Is it Gunther now or Walter? You know what I mean? Like, name another time that an established star went with such a drastic name change. Like, he came out as Walter, didn't he? It was on the big screen. He walked out as Walter and he ends the night as Gunther. And are we going to explain as to why? Hopefully they explain as to why. I don't know how you come up with a good enough excuse to get everybody to just go with it.
Yeah, 100%.
All of a sudden, I'm Gunther now because I just, I've outgrown Walter. Well, why were you Walter to begin with, bro? There's going to be a lot of legwork that needs to be done there.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. And it's just, again, I feel like they make it harder for themselves. They just make it harder for themselves because now they're going to get a bunch of crap and a bunch of whatever because people are going to be like, oh, well, because they're going to make fun of the name. And oh my God. Yeah. And like Ed said, yeah, he announced himself as Gunther after the match as they were about to announce him as the winner is Walter. He interrupted it, took the mic, and he said, the winner of this match is Gunther. And he said it with that kind of Gunther. But it's yeah, that's the thing for me is why? Yeah. What's the difference? At the end of the day, what's the huge difference between Walter and Gunther? It's the same shit.
There should be
just let him still be Walter.
There should be just certain wrestlers that you just don't like. When they got AJ Styles, I heard stories that they tried to change his name, but he was like, bro, I've got AJ Styles tattooed down my side. You're going to have to roll with that. It's going to look weird. Mm-hmm. That's just one of them. You got Walter over here. It should have just stayed.
Yeah.
You don't need to trademark every little thing. You could, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words and I hate it. And I'm not gonna be okay with this.
No, I love I do think, I very much foresee at least the first couple weeks, people still chanting Walter or like I don't think this one. Eventually, it'll get over because I don't think they'll pivot and just start calling him Walter again. They're going to try to make this work, but I do see that this one could get a little bit of backlash, especially from the audience that they're going to have him in. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have him there. Like, yeah, NXT 2.0 is a lot different from the diehards that were in the NXT audience, but there's still real wrestling. Like you see the reactions of these people. There's still real wrestling fans that go to that show. And I think at least at first I could see a little bit of kind of pushback or
I'm not ready for the Braun Breaker versus
Gunther.
Well,
it's one of these things.
Braun Breaker versus Walter?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and like again, it overshadows the great match that he had with Roddy Strong and the angle that it's going to be Diamond Mine versus Imperium. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Creed brothers and Roddy versus Imperium. Okay. Yeah. Sign me up all day.
Are they getting new names too?
I mean, probably not. What, you think the Bartel and
Eichner?
Yeah. Whatever. We'll start calling them. I don't even know. But anyway. Man, that was just, to me, it was just deflating. It was like, they didn't do that, did they? What the hell was that? Like the way it happened, I was like, what? They're calling them that? Why? It was just annoying. All right. You know what it's time for before we get out of here? It's time to talk some football.
Yeah. And we have announcements.
To talk some football. We do have announcements. Yeah. Well, we're going to do that to end the show. You got to tease them. You got to tease the people.
Stay tuned. But yeah, we were talking some football. What a weekend. We did the NFL preview at the beginning of the season. And our teams that we picked to be the number one seeds are the number one seeds. So they didn't play this weekend. But there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and a Cowboys exit in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was quite an exit as well. Just the way that went down was so Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Just like confusion, stupidity, no idea what's going on, not knowing the rules.
Thank God for the Gunther talk, because that stole the Cowboys' thunder for being the dumbest thing of the week.
Agreed. I had the 49ers. I picked the 49ers. I like the 49ers a lot. But man, what a way to lose. It's just so typical Dallas. Mike McCarthy, idiot coach, has always been an idiot coach. Won a Super Bowl because he had Aaron Rodgers. Guy's a moron. And 14 penalties they had. 14. 11 of them were pre-snap penalties. Are you shitting me? Do you know how undisciplined of a football team
you got to be?
You need to have. You got to be.
Especially at home.
Yeah, at home in a playoff game. 11 pre-snap penalties. 14 penalties total. Undisciplined. McCarthy's a tool bag. Doesn't know how to use time management. He's a moron. And they kept him. They came out already and they were like, oh, we believe in him. He's coming back next year. Well, guess what? The next year, same shit's going to happen. Same shit. Dumb.
How did the Patriots do?
They got their asses kicked, as they should have.
Whoo, talk about. So I got to ask you, because we haven't had a chance to talk football.
It was cold.
You went to the game.
Mm-hmm.
You sat through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get up and go, you know what, I'm done? This is it. It's 47-10. Let's go.
No.
Mm-mm. And then all of a sudden the discourse that it's time to trade Mac Jones.
Yeah, no.
But hey, I'm no expert, right? I'm sitting here. This is a wrestling show.
I mean, I am an expert.
But I'm pretty sure that Mac Jones doesn't play defense.
Yeah, Mac Jones was not the problem at that game. If anything, I thought Mac Jones was one of the only people that actually competed in that football game. Yeah. That first drive, he ran for a couple first downs. He was making accurate throws. The interception, that was a very good defensive play that robbed them of the touchdown. And then, Brandon Bolden, who had a great year for us, he dropped a wide open 30-yard pass. Like, there were things that happened that were not Mac Jones' fault. And then when you're down 21-0, what the fuck are you going to do? What are you going to do?
The Bills, they played the perfect game. They went down and scored a touchdown.
No, they didn't punt once. Our
no
defense,
field goals, no punts.
Our defense was just no They didn't do anything. They couldn't stop him. There were no adjustments made. They were just like, yeah, right. Josh Allen was unstoppable. Josh Allen looked like the best player. I still think Mahomes is the best player, current player, but Josh Allen, if he plays like that, he might be the best player in the league. Because
if he was on the Chiefs with all those weapons,
that was an unreal performance by Josh Allen. He was not only was he throwing accurately and just wide open, everybody was wide open. He's throwing darts, but he also was just running over people. The dude's 6'5", 240.
And
he's a big
and he got
dude.
No D1 scholarship offers out of high school. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
So, that was the biggest shock to me this weekend was how poorly the Patriots played. And I'm not doing that as a dig to you.
No, they played like that. That was arguably one of the worst losses in the Belichick era. There was just once that game was over in the second quarter, because those guys were not all of them, but those guys, they didn't want to be there. They did not want to be there, and it showed. They got their doors blown off, and they sucked.
My last question about the Patriots game, because you were there live, did you see the dildo that got thrown into the end zone?
No, but that's the thing that's been happening in Buffalo for years.
But you didn't see it like live. You couldn't tell where you were sitting, because I saw that and I was like, "What is that?"
No,
that is something. It was a good weekend. I mean, we have this weekend.
We got 4 games coming up. It should be good. I am one that I believe.
How do you feel about the Monday night thing? That's part of the reason we didn't do this separately.
My thing is,
it's because they had a Monday night game.
I don't think that's fair.
No,
because now the Rams, right?
Yeah,
they have to play on a short week, and I don't think in the playoffs you should have to fucking play on a short week. That's not fair. It's the playoffs. Everyone should be having the same time of. The same timeline.
And they got to go play Tom Brady on top of it.
Hey, but they're one of the teams that have they beat Tom Brady.
But you're giving Tom Brady an edge when
you're giving him an edge because they have an extra day of rest, whereas the Rams for some reason had to play on a Monday night, and now they have
8 o'clock too.
Yeah,
because obviously you're not playing at 4.
Yeah. I think that was. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like a playoff game on Monday night, it seems cool. It was cool to have football on a Monday, like late in the, in the playoffs. But at the same time, like you know what? If they're going to play on Monday night that week, then if they win, they should play on Monday. It doesn't add up. I just don't. I don't like the extra day of rest.
And we can't get out. We can't get out of the weekend before we talk about this upcoming week. I mentioned the Bengals getting off the schneid. They finally won a playoff
I think the
game.
Bengals have a chance to get off the schneid some more this weekend. But
they hopefully do. I mean, that was
so the rest of last weekend, those games kind of sucked. They were not.
No,
the Bengals won that game. That horrible referee decision with blowing the whistle early, but still counting the touchdown. Weird.
Did you see that they are no longer calling games in the playoffs?
As they shouldn't. Like, hello, but come on, guys. The rules.
They got the X. Yeah, a lot of the games were like
they were just
they got close at the end. Like if you were watching that Bengals game, you shut it off because they were up.
Yeah, but they ended up winning by 4 or what? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Patriots
got Dallas, and
the Dallas ending, that 49ers game was the real. That was the real like. It wasn't even that great of a game, but like that was the real like best game of the weekend. And the rest of them were all blowouts, like not great. But this weekend, which I always think that the divisional round is the best weekend of football. It's most of the time the 8 best teams remaining. Mm-hmm. The games are all usually pretty competitive, pretty good. So I think this is the last only 4 games, but the last full weekend of football, because then you'll have the championships and then the Super Bowl, and then it's all over. So, but yes, on Saturday afternoon, on Saturday afternoon, we got the Bengals visiting the number 1 seed coming off the bye, the Tennessee Titans.
My preseason pick
it was, and I gave you shit about that. And the Titans, I cannot believe they have the number 1 seed. They played the most guys in the history of the league, I think, like with injuries and everything they had. They broke the record of most suited players in week 9. That's how early on they did that shit.
this is where the Bengals, like, if you're gonna do it, you might as well just make a run, because the Titans, like, they're the team that blows you out or loses to the Texans. Like, there's no middle ground. I hear rumblings that Derrick Henry might come back, or he is back.
Oh, he is coming back, which definitely
worries
changes.
Me you play him if he's 100%, but if you have any,
they don't care.
They
should. If they'll play, if they know they can win a Super Bowl, they're going to play him. If his foot falls off, they don't give a shit. Whatever. Those contracts ain't guaranteed. See you later. On to the next one. Bye. Thanks.
You think the WWE's bad? The NFL is ruthless.
Oh, ruthless. Ruthless.
I think this is the game that intrigues me the most. Not because I picked them, because, like I said, I like what the Bengals are doing. I like Joe Burrow. I think the kid is special. I think that they're on this high of finally getting off the schneid. So it's going to go one of two ways. You're either going to show up in Tennessee and you're going to play your best game, put your best foot forward and get that win, or you're going to get blown out. You know what I mean? You've seen that, right? Where that, like the Browns last year, they kicked the shit out of the Steelers. And then show up to Kansas City and it was deflating. And so I hope the Bengals took that and learned from it and were like, all right. Because again, like I said, Tannehill is, I had him on fantasy all year. He's either going to put up 4 touchdowns or he's going to give you nothing. And is Derrick Henry got rust on him? I don't know. How much is Derrick Henry being back going to rejuvenate that offense? Is he going to come out and put up 200 yards, or is he going to struggle early? And in the playoffs, as you've seen, early struggles could be the end of it because the games are so tight and the play is like one mistake can cost you. As we saw with that touchdown the Bengals got, they got lucky with the Cowboys. One mistake at the end there cost you a game. It's marginal. It's the playoffs. And like you said, it's usually the 8 best teams in this round. So you're not playing the Texans.
It's fair.
Let's go.
I am. I am. I'm rooting for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Rooting for the Bengals. But they're going to have to play, I think, a perfect game to beat the Titans. The Titans, I think, at least in the AFC, in my opinion, they're the best coached team. Mike Vrabel is a really, really good coach. He learned from the best, obviously. So I'm a fan of Vrabel, one of my all-time favorite New England Patriots. So
Andy Reid's pretty good.
Yeah, it's easy when you have Patrick Mahomes. But it's it's one of those things where again, Andy Reid is good. I just think Vrabel is better. Andy Reid, talk to me about his time management, because I 12-year-old playing Madden regularly can probably do a little bit better than Andy Reid. So
That's
and then we have Saturday night. We have the other number 1 seed, the team that I picked to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers, going against the San Francisco 49ers, a team that I picked to be in the playoffs that you gave me shit about.
Yes, I did. I thought for sure the Niners were going to be like 3-14 because they look to be all in on the future. I don't think they expected to be here. They definitely backed into the playoffs, but they're here. They look good. Samuel is a beast. Yeah. Jimmy G's playing probably his best.
Pretty well. George Kittle's a beast.
Yeah, you can't,
They do have a little bit.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold. And Joey Bosa, who is the Niners' best defensive player, he left last week's game with a concussion. And they're on a short week too because they played on Sunday and they have to play on Saturday now. So I do worry if they'll have him healthy for the game. If he has a concussion, 6 days to pass the protocol might be a little tight. And their middle linebacker, Fred Warner, who's another, like basically their second best defensive player, he had to leave the game last week too with like a knee or ankle, a lower body injury.
Yeah, and if you're going to beat
if they don't have those guys, if you're beating the Packers, exactly. You got to be healthy. But I do like this 49ers team. I like the way they use Deebo Samuel. That guy's a monster. They run the ball with them. They catch with them. Brandon Ayuk is also really good. The regular running back, Mitchell, for the 49ers, their starting running back, is good. If Jimmy G, he makes about 1 or 2 stupid-ass throws a game, Usually one of them results in a pick. At some point, he'll be a moron like that. But other than that, he's very efficient, doesn't make mistakes. He's playing well and secretly, and we'll talk about the other NFC game next because it's the early game on Sunday. I'm a Patriots fan. I want that Jimmy G versus Tom Brady NFC Championship game. How can I not? How can I not? How can I not want that game? But most likely, I think the Packers
like to
will
see Rodgers Brady again, like last year. That was fun.
Here's my thing, though. If it's Rodgers Brady, to me, it's a no-brainer. Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl again, 100%.
No, oh yeah, you don't trust Green Bay.
Well, I mean, should you? They've been the number 1 seed for literally multiple times at home and have blown the playoffs regularly.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm with you, but this would be the year to do it. I think.
I agree. I mean, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Throwback. Thanks for hopping in, man. Always good to see you. We're wrapping up the show, talking a little NFL divisional round preview for this weekend's games, and then we're going to plug some stuff. Got some big news on the horizon, and we're getting out of here.
In the divisional round, I'll take Green Bay all day. In the cold weather, the San Francisco 49ers, like I said, it's another one of those, like, all right, how are you going to show up? You weren't supposed to be here. You're here. But like I said, I think they're firing also Tebow Samuel. He just runs all over the place. Like that, the Green Bay defense is good, but are they going to stop that?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Green Bay isn't good at stopping the run.
Because cold weather,
yeah,
you're not affected. The running game is not affected in cold. It's the passing. It's the So if Jimmy G can keep, like you said, if he can play a good game and not have that crucial mistake that he's prone to having, we could be seeing an interesting we could see Green Bay going down again. And I wasn't high on Green Bay to begin with because I thought the offseason tension would have, but you know what? Consummate professionals. They showed up, they played their game,
Mm-hmm. They sure did. And it's one of those things. Yeah. So like the one thing that Green Bay is not good at is stopping the run. And the one thing that the 49ers are really good at is running the football. And like you said, cold weather, if you can control the clock,
yeah, you're good.
They got a chance. That game's intriguing to me. Throwback does ask, do you think Jones, I assume he's talking about Mac Jones, is rookie of the year? No, I do not. I think he was rookie of the year until the last month when Jamar Chase was like, no, I'm rookie of the year. So that's how I feel about that.
Hell, but Jamar Chase made a run at offensive player of the
year. Literally. Yes.
But
I do think, again, Mac Jones is not a problem. I believe we will have a very successful Patriot team with Mac Jones. We'll win playoff games with Mac Jones. He was not the issue in Buffalo, and he was the rookie of the year up until the last month where Jamar Chase just went off to me. All right. So then we move to Sunday, the early game. We have the LA Rams going down to Tampa to visit Mr. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will never pick against Tom Brady in a playoff game, ever. Ever. Literally. There's no reason. I watched him for 20 years. I've seen him win Super Bowls with literally guys that left the league in 2 years because they couldn't play anywhere else. Like I would never pick against Tom Brady, and I will not until he officially actually loses and leaves. So the Rams are really good. I think and I should, because I believe I'd have to go back and look, but I believe I picked the NFC Championship game to be the Packers and the Rams. I'm pretty sure that was the NFC Championship game that I picked, was the Packers versus the Rams. So I should be rooting for the Rams.
I might have said Bucks get in there. I don't remember because I think I was trying to be different.
It's in one of these notebooks. I'll have to go look.
I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, but
I'm with you, except that Aaron Donald and Von Miller, and it's just like that pressure is just going to be tough because it didn't look good in the regular season. I know the playoffs are a different ball game, but Tom Brady is not as young as he once was, and I don't think he's never been mobile. So you get a bunch of pressure on him, and there's no Antonio Brown, right? Antonio Brown's the X Factor. I'm kidding. I don't think as much as I agree with Antonio Brown's stance, I don't think he's an X factor on that team. I don't think he made that team go. I think he helped, but I think Tom Brady, he'll figure it out. I want to see Brady Rodgers just because I want to see those two go at it because I think it's a lot of fun. But Matthew Stafford, man, like this is his time. This is his shot.
Well, he got his first. Yeah, he got his first play.
He got his first playoff win.
He
The
did.
Rams certainly went all in this season. They spent money. They got Odell. They went and got Vaughn. Cooper Kupp almost broke the receiving record.
I love
this
Cooper
year.
Kupp. Great play,
right?
But
Yeah,
the game should be good.
Moss Cup.
Yeah, I mean? Yeah, and it's one of those things where it should be a good one. I think the Rams are one of those. Yes, Matt. Yes. Earlier I said I really loved how they said that, honoring the House of Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rams are a team that aren't scared of the Bucs either. They're not scared of Brady. But like I said, I'm going to stick with Tom. He just knows how to pull it out and win games like that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I expect. Them at home helps as well. But Sunday night, this is the game. This is the game. I think this is the game of the weekend. The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen are heading to Kansas City to face off two high-powered offenses against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. In my opinion, without question, I think this is the best football game of the weekend because I think the winner of this football game is winning the Super Bowl. That's truly what I believe. I with what I saw with the Bills firsthand.
Yeah, it's gonna
I think I am confident. I'm confident in saying that I believe the winner of this football game will be the winner of the Super Bowl this year. That's how I feel. Yeah, man. I picked the Chiefs and Packers in the Super Bowl, so I'm going to ride with the Chiefs because that's what I picked. I think I picked the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. However, the way the Bills played on Saturday and the way Josh Allen played on Saturday, that looks like a tough team and a tough dude to beat right now. So I would not be shocked. I think it'll be close. It'll be high scoring. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills went in there and upset them either. But I'm going to still ride with Mahomes and KC and pick the Chiefs here.
Isn't that nice that KC gets back-to-back Sunday night games? Like they didn't
Mahomes. Mahomes is the guy. You know, he's the
Mahomes Allen. That's money. I just wish.
Oh my God, yeah.
I wish that was the Saturday night like primetime game, so I could stay up and watch the whole thing because I'm an old man and have to get up early on Mondays. But yeah, I don't know. Over under 80 point, like that screams 45-43 to me. Like I just feel like they're, offensively just juggernauts, and I don't know how you keep up, even if you're a good defense. I don't know how you keep up that pace. Like for the Bills having to stop like the Tyreek Hills and the Nico Hardmans of the world, and on the opposite, you got Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? Like, and Josh Allen just shouldering people.
Literally just runs through people.
Yeah, like I think there's going to be some defensive like letdowns. You're going to see a lot of points, a lot of fireworks, but ultimately I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to say the Bills get it done in Kansas City because why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't think anybody, you could pick the Chiefs and I'd say you're right. You pick the Bills and I can't argue. Mm-hmm. These are probably the two best teams right now in football.
I would say, the Packers are really, really good, but I would say the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Packers those are the three. I think they're like a different level than the other teams that are still remaining to me.
I like Matt's comment. All I'm going to say is Tom Brady.
That's all you have to say. I will never pick against that man ever. But yeah, so that was our quick little NFL divisional round preview. We're going to talk about next week's episode in a little bit because obviously you would expect it to being Royal Rumble week would be heavy Royal Rumble, but we have a little news about what next week's going to be like. So
we have a response to these budget restrictions.
Yeah, we do, and the threats, the threats. But before we get out of here, there's a couple other people we want to thank. We want to thank RK Athletics 1. They've been with us since day one here at Love Wrestling. You can follow them on all social medias, as you can see right there, at RK Athletics 1. If you are looking for any personal training, virtual or anything, give them a follow, get in touch with them. They are a great group of people, and they have all your needs if you want to get in a little bit better shape or just get some structure and personal training in your life. That is RK Athletics 1 on all social medias. Also, for Pluggo and I and Love Wrestling in general, we got a whatamaneuver.net/collections/love-wrestling-ca. You can go there. You can get some Love Wrestling merch. And we got some Between Two Beards merch on there. We got a shirt,
That's
a
right.
hoodie. You can even
Tank
get a
top.
onesie. You can even get a onesie if you got a newborn. You can all sorts of things on there. So go there, buy some stuff. Give us some love. What a Maneuver. Follow them on social media. They have a great social media presence. They are a great follow. And they're a great group. We're glad we're working with them. So go follow them, go to that, and buy our stuff. Will you?
That's right. Yeah. Help us out.
Pluggo. Couple more things to plug. I'll let you do the rest of the plugs before we get out of here, because I know we got some news. So
are we plugging more stuff? What else do we got? I don't know. I'm all
should we
disheveled.
tell the people what we got next
all
week?
disheveled because I got threatened tonight.
I know.
So Spencer threatens us to tighten up the purse strings. And what do? We book for next week at 8:00. Before we even tell you who's coming on, that's the other thing. Starting next week.
Well, I mean, technically started tonight.
Technically, we started tonight. We had a lot to unpack there with Warren coming on. The wordsmith came on. We had a lot going on tonight. So we started at 8. But going forward, we are going to start at 8:00. That way I can tell what time the show is, because with Quizplex, another flagship show of ours, at 8 every third Thursday, it just made sense to start at 8:00 going forward so that it's just a clean, smooth, seamless transition. And starting off our 8:00 era, we have none other than Billy Starks coming on next week. Take that, Spencer. We're blowing the budget. She is an up-and-coming wrestler on the independent scene. You've seen her wrestle all over the place. She's going to come on, hang out with us, talk some wrestling. So please come by and hang out next week.
Yeah, get your questions in the chat.
Get
we
them
have
ready.
Billy Starks for next week, 8:00. That's going to be a fun one. We are super duper excited to get her on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. On that note,
we even made a graphic, Spencer. We're
did.
spending that money. We
did.
don't
We
care.
did.
We don't.
We did.
No.
But yeah, we've almost been doing this damn thing for 2 hours tonight.
Yeah.
So one more thing we got to plug is obviously Love Wrestling. Give us a follow on the Facebook. Give us a subscribe on the Twitch. If you're watching this video or watching this replay, give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell for notifications. Give us some love over at Love Wrestling. We're going to be here all weekend. This Sunday, you're going to see even the two of us with our buddy Lawrence. We're doing a reaction show for that GCW Hammerstein show. That card looks ridiculous. That should be a fun show.
Filthy.
First time that Love Wrestling. We really don't talk a ton of GCW, but with this big show, their biggest show in the history of the company, and with the star power on that show, we are going to do a reacts after that show right here on this channel. We got Spencer's interviews. Next week, we got Quizplex following us. We got a ton of good stuff here. The Legacy of comes back on Monday, the 24th, with DMD Britt Baker. I got a sneak peek of it. It is excellent, as they usually are. We got some good stuff happening here at Love Wrestling. So give us all the love. No pun intended.
I didn't even get to say, I'm going to Warrior Wrestling on Saturday, man. That's exciting. So shout out Warrior Wrestling. I'll be there. If you're there, say what's up.
Yeah, man. We got some big stuff happening here on Between Two Beards. Last week's guest. Tonight was a fun show. Big guest next week. And 2022 is shaping up to be a real good year here. So thanks for all the love. Thanks for hopping in the chat. And until next week at 8:00, for Pluggo, I'm JPJ. Peace out.
Coming for you, Holden.